Are you trying to get some of these really cool graphics that you see all over maybe Madden, PUBG, or any other gaming community, and you want to do that, but you just don't know how? Are you trying to cut out some players? Are you trying to cut out a graphic? Are you trying to cut out one little portion that you can do something super cool with and make a really awesome graphic with? I'm going to show you how to do this in Photoshop with the pen tool. Super crispy, super easy. It'll take you some time, a little getting used to. I'm going to show you how easy it is to easily cut out a portion of a photo to use to make a new graphic or a separate graphic. All right, guys, so here we got Photoshop open. I just started a brand new 1000 by 1000 pixel, but you can start a new one to fit the file size that you're actually going to use. We just double click the background to unlock it. Now let's go just find a random photo. I do a lot of Madden cutouts, and so that's what I'll show. And I know that that may be what speaks to this community the most, but this can work for any photo at all. It doesn't matter the photo. This is just what I'm doing. So I really like this photo right here of Mahomes. We're going to open in a new link. That's not going to be what we want, but we can still do it right here. We'll save this image, right? We'll just save it to our downloads, right? Now we know where it's back to Photoshop. Open up in our downloads. Oh, it's saved as a web MP. So there you go, lesson learned. Make sure that you save it as a JPEG. Not all of these images are JPEG. So it's a good lesson learned right there that I've stumbled upon a couple of different times. Let's see if we can't open image as. Let's see, open image in new title. There we go. This should be a JPEG. We'll save as. It is going to be a JPEG, so we saved the correct one this go around. We can come back, open this JPEG. So there's our photo right there. We're going to unlock it, double click it, hit enter. We're going to select all, so Command A, Command C to copy. You can also just drag it. There's a zillion different ways to do this. We're going to put it right here. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to delete the bottom layer because we don't really want it. Doesn't really matter. And let's just make Patrick fit. So we're going to Command T to transform. I'm just going to make it fit into this 1000. Let's say this square is the size that we really want. So we'll make him fit perfect. Everything that you don't see will just still be there, but you just won't see it because the square that we have is what we're actually going to see. I personally like to just zoom in to where it gets a little bit pixelated. So you can see right there, it starts to get really fuzzy. You can really make this thing pixelated, but about right there is where I like it. I like it to be slightly pixelated, so I'm in really, really close. I'm going to come grab my pen tool right here. This is the pen tool. And when you select it, you get this really neat pen icon. You want to make sure that it is a path and everything is set on auto. And all we're going to do is put points all around everything that we want to cut out. So this entire body we're going to cut out. Personally, I like to start at the pieces that I know are going to go away forever. So this little piece in his face mask, right? That's a clear piece. I don't want that to show up in my next image. Here's another teeny piece right here that I don't want to go there. So I'm just going to make some lines, right? Some points. Just drawing out in a straight line, in a bunch of straight lines, all the space that I want. And then I'll connect the last one. When I connect them, if you're zoomed in really close, you'll be able to see they all connected. I actually missed a little spot right there. So the more you zoom in, the more you can really make this thing super, super clean. So let's do that. Let's just go back. All right, we're super zoomed in. We're going to go ahead and clean this thing up a lot. Make it really, really clean. I like to go just slightly on the inside of the actual image. There we go. That's super clean. We've connected the dots. Now I'm going to right click on one of those points. Make selection. I'm going to feather it at 0. I like it super clean. And now it's made that selection. Hit delete and it is gone forever. We're going to do the same right up here. Again, this is a very little spot, but it matters. All these little details I think really matter and make for a super clean image. I'm just clicking all around, connect the last dot, make selection, feather at 0, enter, delete, it's gone forever. So when you zoom out, you see that that's going to be transparent. Here's another spot between his elbow, right? So we're going to get in real tight and close. I like to do it slightly on the inside. The more the straight line, the faster that you can go because you don't have to put as many points. Let's just go right here. Bam. All right in here. Follow this red around. Connect it to the last point. Make selection. Feather at 0. Enter. Delete. It's gone. Super clean, right? That's really the only spots. I mean, you could get really detailed. Let's get right in here in his fingers, right? And it starts to get a little weird just because some of the shadows, right, you actually don't have any control over. And when you start taking like a lot of the shadows out, it kind of make a little bit of a weird image, but we'll see how this looks. We'll make selection 0. See if we can't get right around here. Again, I like it pixelated because it's super detailed. When you zoom out, it just makes for a really clean image. Some little spots here. We're just going to pick all the little spots that we think we want to remove. It doesn't have to be perfect because you're super inside. So when you zoom out, it's just going to give you a really clean image. No one's really going to even see that, but you'll know it's there. And when you put this on top of whatever cool graphic you're making, or whatever you want to do with it, it's just going to look really, really clean. All right, let's do his body. I'm just going to go ahead and speed this up so you can see how I do it. It usually takes me anywhere from, I don't know, 2 to 5 to 6 minutes, depending on the actual JPEG I'm using, the photo that I'm using. Like, it depends on the stance. It depends on how clear it is. If like it really blends into the background, it can make it a little bit more difficult. If there are other players on top of the player, if like his head's cut off or his hand's cut off. So it's really like picking a good quality image that you can work with to make it as fast as possible. And if you get a super detailed, you can see I went too far, right? Because his arm stops right here. I'm actually just gonna Command Z to undo, Command Z, and go right here to this point, and then I can start following his arm. So just Command Z and it'll just undo the points, or you can just right click and delete anchor point and it'll also do the same thing. So it takes me a couple minutes here to kind of go through these. You start getting into these colors that blend. You just have to guess, and that's what I love about the pen tool. You can use quick select, you can use erase background, but to me, none of those give you a super clean image. I know that, shout out to my buddy Soden over at Soden Bowl. I know he purchased a program that actually does this in seconds, and there are some super awesome programs. I just, again, love the manual technique that I can use on any photo. And it just makes, I think, for super clean photos. Again, you may have a much easier way. I'm showing you the easiest way that I know how without using or purchasing another program to kind of do this for you and give you a really, really clean image. Again, I stay right on the inside. That way you can be on the, you lose this fogginess, all this fogginess on the outside. You kind of clean all of that up. And then the really nice thing about the pen tool is like you're in control of the shape. And so if like Madden had like some kind of weird graphic glitch, or if like there's some kind of like weird thing in the photo that you're like, I wish that wasn't there, just cut it out. Like just reshape it to fit what it is that you're trying to make it fit. And if you do it in a really natural way, no one will even be able to tell the difference that you actually cut that out. So like right here, there's a weird shadow. We're just gonna go right here and then we're just gonna shape it out. We're gonna clean it up ourselves and make it exactly what we want. So when you get around fingers, when you get around helmets, like any curvy type of surface, it will take more anchor points, right? Because these are just straight line anchor points. And so if I'm trying to make a circle with a straight line, I'm going to have more anchor points to do that. But these like really straight lines, I can really get in there and speed it up a whole lot. So I don't think there's a whole lot more to add here, a whole lot more to say. And we'll just finish this off. We'll speed it up, put some music on, and again, you can see this. Like, I don't like this little glitch right here. So again, I get right here. See, there's like a triangle, like weird, because I'm zoomed in. Like, just shape it off yourself, right? I know where I want this to go. I'm just gonna shape it off, and no one will be able to tell any different of what I did or didn't do. So put some music on. We'll finish this off, and then when we make our last anchor point, we'll come right back. All right, we're right here at the end now. I like to go right off of the photo and create one right below and then connect it. Do not right click off of the photo. If you do, it's gonna bring up this, like the background. So you wanna be on the photo, click an anchor point, make selection, feather 0, enter. Now it has selected everything that you cut out. So our player is selected, but I don't wanna delete the player. All right, so I'm gonna come up here to selection. I'm gonna inverse it. So now it's selected everything but the player. Delete, my player is cut out. That simple. Hit our select tool just to click on the photo and make it go away. And now I've got this real cool cutout. Again, I didn't cut out everything. I just cut out the player. So I can actually go back here. We'll hit our selection tool. We're gonna select just our guy here. Oop, that's not what I want. My trackpad's too large here. Select just our player here. I'm gonna copy, so Command C, Command N for new. It's gonna create a new photo the same size of what I copied. Enter, Command V, he's pasted. Double click the background, delete it. So now I've got my player on a transparent background, just like we cut out. So like, there's nothing else there, it's just him. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Just doing this for sake of showing you what you can do. So let's just do, cool American football background. I don't know, right? Just some random image, right? Let's say this one here. Open image in new tab. Save this one. It's a JPEG. Command open. Now you're going to open our thing. Command A to select all. Command C to copy. Come back over here. Command V to paste, Command T to transform, hold Option. We're gonna stretch this out and keep the perspective like that 50-yard line. We're gonna kind of center it right there, all right? So now enter, we'll set it. That layer's on top of our player. We're just gonna drag it below the player. Now we got Mahomes on top of this player. We can Command T to transform, hold Option, click and drag to keep perspective. All right, let's say we just want to make him a little bit smaller. Enter to keep him. We're going to drag him down right here to make him even. All right, so now we've got Mahomes there on a neat little background. We're going to select Mahomes. All right, make sure you're not on the element filter. Topaz, if you don't have Topaz, go get it. It's worth buying. Super cool plugin. I'll show you some of my favorites. Why is this coming up again? I don't understand that. Come here to my favorites. I like this comic book one. I'm gonna pop up my adjustment over here. I like to take that exposure down. Hit apply. And I like to do crisp. Dynamic. All kinds of cool stuff that you can do with Topaz. Hit OK. Got this cool new feature, this cool new little filter that's been put on there. We separate. We could even add drop shadow if we want to separate him a little bit. Like you can go in there and play with that a little bit. Like you can add text on here. Oop, that's the wrong one. Make sure you got the right one picked. Keep picking the wrong one. There we go. We got Patrick Mahomes right here. We can put this in the corner. We'll transform this, make this a little bit smaller. That in the corner and put a little drop shadow on it so you can see it a little bit better. Maybe a little stroke around it. One with the size of the stroke. All right, you can do all kinds of cool stuff like this, right? That's how I cut out players. You can use them to make graphics. They're super clean, they're super crispy. You can turn off all these effects. We'll just go back, right? Again, let's just go back, undo all of what we've done. Hide this, right? This is a super clean and crispy type of cutout. You can use that on anything and everything that you want to use it on. I've done it in just a couple of minutes. So that's how you do it. That's how I do it with the pen tool. Again, there's other ways to do it. I like to do it this way. It takes a little bit more time. It gives you a lot of control over exactly what your final image will look like. And that's how you cut out players. So I hope you've liked it. If you did, subscribe to the channel for more videos. Hit that like button. If you got questions or comments, just leave a comment and I'll make sure that we answer it for you. But good luck in making your graphics. We want to see them. And we'll see you next time. God bless you. Peace.